now present George Edwards in Frankenstein. Baron Frankenstein passed away the tedious days on the good ship Voyager by relating his tragic experiences to Captain Walton. The Voyager was icebound somewhere near the North Pole, and day after day a howling blizzard raged. Captain Walton became worried, and the ice pack grew higher. He confided his worry to Baron Frankenstein.
You look rather worried today, Captain Walton.
Unfortunately, the weather shows no signs of abating, Baron Frankenstein.
Have any of your men seen any trace of the monster? Has he attempted to visit the ship again?
No one has seen any trace of it. Let us hope it has perished out there in the blizzard.
I hope so, but I very much doubt it.
Do you feel inclined to tell me some more of your story?
Well, I have told you how the child William was murdered, and on examining the body, I formed the conclusion that the murder had been committed by the monster. I dashed back into the room where my wife and the burgomaster were waiting with Justine, and I told them that I was in reality responsible for the murder of William. They looked at me in some amazement. Then my wife...
Victor, what are you saying?
It is true, Elizabeth. The monster killed William, and I created the monster. He has done this for revenge because I refused to grant his request.
Do you not agree with me that Justine was guilty of the murder?
I swear that I am not guilty.
You can release Justine. She is innocent. Burgomaster, did I not set you and your men to search for the monster?
The monster which you say you created. I like the story, Baron Frankenstein.
Understand, Burgomaster, that people do not doubt my word. I say that Justine is not guilty of this murder. Take your men, go and search for this monster. Then you will find the murderer. Had you examined the body closely, you would have seen the marks on the throat.
I am sorry if I have given you offense, Baron Frankenstein. I was merely trying to do my duty.
I appreciate that. Will you go now? Seek until you find this monster. Have no mercy. Shoot him on sight.
We will do that. But of a truth, I have never seen the creature. Is it true that he is your creation? That you made him in a laboratory at the back of this house?
It is true. Now go and do not question me further. Find him and kill him.
Come, you men. There is much work to be done tonight. We will take our leave, Baron Frankenstein.
Baron Frankenstein, I go to my knees and thank you for saving my life. I thank you for making them release me.
All right, Justine. Now go.
Yes, I wish to speak to the Baron, and I do not wish to be disturbed. I will go, and believe me, I will sincerely mourn the child.
What have you to say to me, Elizabeth?
You are a murderer, Victor. You were right when you said you were responsible for William's death. It was through your own obstinacy, your headstrong stubbornness, that the monster was brought into being. Frankston, I pleaded with you. We begged you not to proceed with this experiment. But you turned a deaf ear to our pleas. And as a result, Julio and William have been murdered. The murder is yours, and it will forever be upon your conscience.
Oh, Elizabeth, please do not turn against me.
Had you heeded me, had you really loved me, you would not have proceeded with your experiment. You would have married me and destroyed the form which you had made. But you were selfish. You wish to win fame. And what is the result? Oh, I hate you, Victor.
Oh, Elizabeth, you do not mean that.
Oh, that child's body lies in this house, mutely crying for revenge. And yet you stand here and try to justify yourself.
What can I say to you, Elizabeth?
Are you going to let that monster live? Are you going to let it roam the countryside, leaving a trail of death and misery? Why are you not out searching for it? Why do you not destroy this evil thing?
Very well, Elizabeth. I admit that I cannot justify myself. I will go now, and I shall not return until I have slain the monster.
No, Victor. I do not mean what I said. If you go out there, the monster may kill you.
You have shown me my duty very plainly, Elizabeth. I will go, and I trust that I will return.
You must not go, Victor. The shock and the grief caused me to speak like that. I do not hate you. I love you, and I want you to stay here.
It is because of my love for you I want to repair the great sin which I have committed.
You cannot go. Remember, Ernest Corval is coming tomorrow.
Tell him what has happened, and do not fear for me. Goodbye.
Did you succeed in finding the monster, Baron Frankenstein?
Well, I wandered out into the night. I walked through the woods. I traveled for miles until I was footsore and weary. But still I saw no trace of the being which I had created. And then, just as dawn was breaking, I came to a little clearing at the side of the woods. I looked around curiously, and then eventually I heard a woman sobbing. I hurried in the direction of the sound, and as I came through the woods, I saw a peasant's cottage. Outside the cottage, a woman was kneeling beside the body of a man. She was weeping bitterly. I approached her. What is the matter? Can I do anything to help you?
Who are you? Where have you come from?
My name is Baron Frankenstein. What is the matter with this man?
Oh, he is dead. He has been murdered.
Let me see. Oh, the same marks on the throat.
This man was my husband. We lived here happily together for many years. And one day a strange creature came into the woods. He seemed to be half man, half beast, always trying to our windows. Following my husband, then he went to his work in the woods. Today, my husband took his gun. He shot at the creature, and the bullet struck him, but it had no effect. The creature advanced. He seized my husband by the throat. I was powerless to interfere, and in a few minutes, Gustav was dead. Then the creature ran into the woods, saying that all men were his enemies.
Leaving a trail of death and misery.
Will you help me, sir? What can I do? I am so afraid.
We will take your husband's body into the house. I will return to town, and you shall come with me. It is not safe for you here.
What is this strange creature? Where did he come from? He terrifies me.
It will help me to carry your husband's body down gently now.
Bring it in here.
Come on, this way. There. We shall lay it on the couch.
What can I do? Oh, Gustav, my husband.
Take comfort. Although there is little I can say.
What? Listen.
The monster approaches.
Oh, we are not safe. We shall be killed.
Greetings, Frankenstein. I thought that you would follow me.
I have followed you so that I may kill you. This time I have a gun.
You cannot kill me.
We shall see.
I am wounded, Frankenstein, but I will not die. You are the second man who has tried to kill me today. The second man who has wounded me, who has taught me the meaning of physical pain. Let this woman be gone. We have much to say to each other.
Where will go? This creature is a devil. He cannot die.
Poor woman. Why did you kill her husband?
Because he was my enemy. All men are my enemies. And I take that gun from you, Frankenstein.
You devil! You are so strong!
Now we can talk. This woman will not return. She will run to the town for aid.
I am the most wretched being on this earth. You are my creator, Frankenstein, and yet you despise and spurn me. You gave me life, a life that is filled with misery and wretchedness. You gave me this hideous form which turns all men against me. Do you expect me to love all men? Why did you kill the child? Why did you kill this poor peasant? Because he strove to kill me. Have I not the right to defend myself? Why do men strive to kill me? Why do they shudder when I appear? Is that not your fault, Frankenstein? Have I not suffered enough? Do you not think I have been punished? Everywhere I go, I seek bliss and happiness. But I am excluded because I am a hideous monster. Misery made me a fiend, but it is in your power to make me happy. Then there will be no further death, no further misery. When first you brought me to life, I was a poor, helpless, miserable wretch. I knew and could distinguish nothing, but I could feel pain, and I spent my days in weeping and misery. I will remember one day when I was oppressed with the cold. I was wandering in the woods. I found a fire which had been left by some beggars. I was overcome with delight at the warmth I experienced. I thrust my hand into the embers. I quickly drew it out again with a cry of pain. Thus did I learn the meaning of physical pain. But I have had greater suffering than that, Frankenstein. Wandering in loneliness. And yet you could give me happiness. I watched this couple whom you call peasants. They were happy. They loved each other. A love which I could never know. I wished to be friendly with them, but they fled from me, viewed me with hatred and loathing. The man strove to kill me. Then he died. Tell me, foul monster, why did you slay the child William? Because he meant something to you. Because I wanted you to suffer as I have suffered. And I swear this, Frankenstein, if you do not give me a mate, then you shall have no mate. I shall slay your wife. You dare to threaten to kill my wife? I swear that unless you start work very soon, unless you commence to create another creature, then your wife shall die.
What happened, Baron Frankenstein? Did you agree to the conditions imposed by the monster?
Oh, I can tell you no more today, Captain Walton. The memory of those horrors is still too fresh upon my mind. Return later, and I will continue with my story.
We now present George Edwards in Frankenstein. Baron Frankenstein related his experiences to Captain Walton, the master of the Voyager, the vessel which was bound on a journey in polar exploration. While the Voyager was icebound, Captain Walton spent much time with Baron Frankenstein, who was gradually recovering his health.
Oh, Baron Frankenstein, I thought perhaps you might care to look at my journal. I have noted your story down very carefully.
If you will leave it, I will look through it, Captain. You do not mind if I make some annotation?
Not at all. I will be very grateful.
I am glad that you have noted my story in your journal, because something tells me that I will never return to civilization.
You must not say that. You are recovering splendidly.
I know, but I dare not return until I am certain that the monster is dead. We know that he is somewhere out there in the White Waste. waiting to wreak his foul vengeance on some defenseless human being.
You will pardon my contradicting you, Baron, but we do not know that. I think the monster must have perished in the blizzard.
What part of my story did I reach yesterday?
You were telling of your conversation with the monster. You met him after he had murdered the peasant, and he threatened to kill your wife unless you created a mate for him.
Yes. I sat there in the little peasant cottage, and I was horrified at the monster's words. He gazed at me for some time, and then, "Foul monster, you seek to arouse my sympathy. Do you not know that you have turned my wife against me? Had I but heeded her advice, you would never have lived. I came to destroy you the day after your creation, but I was too late. You had escaped, and you had already taken a life. I will take no more lives if you will accede to my request. When I left your home, I wandered through the woods, and there I saw the child whom you called William. As soon as he saw me, he screamed and sought to run away. But I seized him by the arm and spoke softly to him, bidding him not to be afraid. He told me that his uncle was Baron Frankenstein, and that I would be punished if I harmed him. At the mention of your name, I trembled with rage, and in a fit of black rage and despair, I killed the child. Just as I shall kill all of your family unless you create for me a mate. I cannot bring myself to do such a thing. You are hideous and horrible. Were I to create another like you, I might unleash another horror on the world. My companion must be as deformed and horrible as myself. One from whom everyone will shrink, and who will turn to me for comfort. But I cannot do it. You must do it, or I will work against you so that you shall curse the very day that you were born. So that you will curse those whose hands created me. I do curse them now. I seek to reason with you. You are my creator. Let me feel gratitude towards you. Let me see that I excite the sympathy of some existing being. Do not, I beg of you, deny me my reward. I have tried to paint for you a picture of misery, the horror, and the suffering which I have undergone. All I ask is a mate as hideous and repulsive as myself. Do I see compassion in your eyes? And if I consent, what then? If you consent, neither you nor every other human being shall ever see us again. I will take my mate and go to the vast and frozen wastes of the north. Your body is deformed, and your mind is deformed. I have learned that I cannot control the mind of any creature which I create. If I create a mate for you, she will also have the desire to kill, to inflict misery on others. Oh, I dare not do it. If you refuse, I swear that all you know and love shall die as others have died. I will haunt this earth, the enemy of mankind, who are my enemies. So be it. I must consent to your demand on your solemn oath that you will take your mate into exile so that none will ever see you again. Do you swear to that? I swear by the sun, and by the blue sky of heaven, and by the fire of the love that burns in my heart, that if you grant my prayer, you will never behold me again. Depart to your home and commence your labors. I shall watch your progress with anxiety. And mark this well. When you are ready, when your labors are complete, I shall appear. And if you fail me, you know the penalty. Farewell, Frankenstein. I trust that soon we shall meet again, and that the meeting shall bring happiness.
But, Baron Frankenstein, surely you did not accede to the monster's request?
Well, after he had left the little cottage, I sat and I thought for a long time. I realized that he was a vile and horrible creature, and that he had demanded that I should create just such another creature. And my heart was heavy. With dragging footsteps, I returned home, where I found my wife and my friend Ernst Clerval awaiting me. As soon as I entered,
Oh, Victor, I am so glad you have returned. I drove you away with harsh words last night, but I regretted my words. Tell me, what news?
the monster still lived.
Victor, my friend, I have heard of your troubles. Elizabeth has told me. Let me offer you all the aid that I can. Together we shall destroy this vile creature.
Have no fear. The monster will do no more harm. There will be no other death.
How can you know that?
Well, I have spoken with him, and there shall be no more death. Rest assured of that, Elizabeth.
Oh, I am so glad. But can you trust this monster?
I have been greatly punished for my sins.
Tell me this, Victor. Did you consent to the monster's request? Surely you did not promise to create a mate for him.
Elizabeth, there is so much at stake. So much harm has been done.
Victor, you cannot do it. Already there is one vile, bloodthirsty monster roaming here. Dare you create
Oh,
another?
give me time to think, please.
Oh, Elizabeth, he is upset. Leave him alone with me now, and I will talk with him.
Oh, I'm joyless. Poor Victor has been out all night. He needs refreshment. I will see that a meal is prepared for you, Victor.
Oh, I thank you, Elizabeth.
Remain here with Ernst, and we shall talk of the matter later.
Victor, my poor friend, my heart is heavy for you. What can I do to help you?
Oh, help me, Ernst. I must grant the monster's demand. I tried to kill him. My shot wounded him, but he did not die. And before I could fire again, he took the gun from me.
Did you promise to create a mate for him?
I did, but my work shall not be done here. I will travel to some lonely island, and there I will have to study again for many months. And there I will create a mate for the monster, which I created.
You must not do it, Victor.
I must do it.
Oh, having created one such hideous monstrosity as a sin for which you have paid heavily, do not create another.
If I do not, your life is in danger. Elizabeth's life is in danger. I must do as the monster says.
So be it. I shall accompany you, and I will help you with your work.
Oh, you are kind, my friend.
A friend of mine has a cottage on a little island in the Orkneys. I know that he will lend us this cottage, and you will be able to conduct your work there. But I am against it, Victor. I do not think you should do it.
I must do it. I feel sure that if I grant his request, there will be no further trouble.
But how can you be sure? You cannot control the mind of the creatures which you create.
Oh, we shall tell Elizabeth you are taking me away from my health, that I am going for a sea trip for several months. Then I will be able to return here to find happiness when my work is done.
It seems the only way.
The servants are preparing a meal for you, Victor.
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I have just been talking matters over with Ernst, and he thinks that I should go away with him for a sea trip. My health has been undermined by all this dreadful worry.
And you are going away without me.
Oh, but you will be safe here. I know that the monster will not harm you. I feel that I must go away without you this time, Elizabeth.
Where are you going?
We have not decided yet, but will you not trust him to my care, Elizabeth?
I will, Ernst. But I want to ask you one question, Victor. Do you intend to grant the monster's demand?
My dear, I am going away from here so that I will not grant the monster's demand. My laboratory and all my instruments are here. I am leaving them. I am striving to forget about the monster. You need have no fear. I know that the monster will do no further harm.
What did you say to him?
Well, I do not like to think of it, but I spoke with him, and he swears that he will not commit another murder.
Is he not to be punished for the murders he has already committed?
Oh, there is nothing we can do at present, my dear. If the burgomaster's men find the monster, they will kill him.
Believe me, Elizabeth, Victor is acting for the best. Be content to leave him in my charge.
I must be content.
You have nothing to fear, Elizabeth. Now wait here until I return. I will recover my health. I will forget the miseries of the past. When I come back here, I swear that you and I shall never be parted again, and nothing shall ever happen to Ma.
Did you eventually go to that island in the Orkneys, Baron Frankenstein?
I went to the island in the Orkneys. I will tell you of my experiences if you come to me again a little later, Captain Walton. I wish to look through your journal now, and I may make several corrections.
Very well, Baron Frankenstein. I will leave you alone now, but I will return later.
We now present George Edwards in Frankenstein. During his enforced stay on the good ship Voyager, Baron Frankenstein related his experiences to Captain Walton, who noted them in his journal. And it is owing to that journal that we are able to retell the strange experiences of Baron Victor Frankenstein. Each morning, Captain Walton used to visit Baron Frankenstein's cabin.
Good morning to you, Captain Walton. Good morning, Baron Frankenstein. Did you look over the notes which I have made in my journal?
I did. They form a very graphic and remarkable story. It is extraordinary to think I am reading my own story, and that story is not yet ended. Somewhere outside, the foul monster of my creation still wanders at large, waiting to wreak his evil vengeance on all who stand in his path.
Did you create a mate for that monster? You may remember you were telling me that you and your friend Ernst Clerval had arranged to journey to a lonely island in the Orkneys, there to attempt to create a female monster.
That is true, and I lied to my wife. I told her that I was going to take a short trip for my health. Eventually, I reached the island in the Orkneys, and there Ernst Clerval and I took up our residence in a large, comfortable cottage. I used one big room at the back to conduct my experiments. I studied night and day. I worked for months, and at last I molded a form which I hoped would someday have life and would